Sacred Saints podcast. Today we are going to be telling the story of Saint Dymphna. Saint Dymphna was born during the 7th century in Ireland to a pagan father and a very devout Christian mother. Her father was King Damon of Oriel at the time. Saint Dymphna was an only child during her life. Her mother secretly raised her Christian and secretly baptized her behind the back of her pagan father. Saint Dymphna took after her mother straight away. She was said to have looked just like her stunningly beautiful mother and became a devout Christian just like her. At the young age of 14, she decided to take a vow of chastity. Soon after her vow of chastity, Saint Dymphna's mother passed away. While enduring the burden of her mother's loss, Saint Dymphna was faced with the challenge of dealing with her father's deteriorating mental health. The widowed king's heart was shattered upon the death of his queen, and he did not cope well with the heartbreak. King Damon's counselors were very aware of his deteriorating mental health and encouraged him to take a new bride to hopefully stabilize him and mend his heart. He finally agreed upon the condition that his wife be very beautiful and look just as his late wife did. The fruitless search for a new bride commenced, but to no avail. After the searches for his new wife slowed, Damon set his eyes upon Saint Dymphna and started to desire her. Saint Dymphna soon learned of his intentions to marry her. Remembering her vow of chastity to the Lord, she decided to evacuate her father's court. She took her confessor, 2 servants, a king's fool, and sailed to the mainland of the continent of Europe. The group ended up landing in what is modern-day Belgium. Here they stowed away in the town of Geel. Once the group was settled and felt safe in Geel, Saint Dymphna built a hospice for the sick and poor people of the region. It was said that it was her desire to help others that led to her downfall, as it is believed that her spending money to start these welfare programs was what helped her father track her down. Hearing of his marked coins being spent in Belgium, Damon sent agents to trace his daughter and her companions. His agents eventually discovered their hiding place, and upon being notified of this, Damon set out to retrieve her. When he arrived, he ordered soldiers to kill her confessor and to take Dymphna back to Ireland. Saint Dymphna remained determined to live her life according to her own and God's will, and not her father's, and still refused to return. Damon, still unstable mentally, as he was when she left, became furious with her. He himself, using a sword, beheaded his own daughter. Saint Dymphna was only 15 at the time of her passing. After her father killed her, people of Jews, whose hearts had been deeply touched by her, buried her and her confessor in a nearby cave. Years later, they decided to give her a proper burial. Though the story of Saint Dymphna is very sad and tragic, it is one with great power. It is a story of great loss, great suffering, great betrayal, but it is one that also shows a story of great redemption, great risk, and great love. The way that Saint Dymphna is steadfast in her love and devotion to Christ is truly inspiring and something we should all try to achieve. The story of Saint Dymphna does not end here. In 1349, a church honoring her was rectified in Geel. It's reported that by the 1480s, so many pilgrims were coming from all over Europe to seek treatment and miracles for psychiatric disorders that the church expanded housing for these pilgrims. These expansions did not even satisfy the demand for housing, so local people started offering housing for pilgrims to stay in their home. The tradition in Geel has lasted ever since, of helping those and caring for those who are suffering with mental illness. Saint Dymphna's memory lives on for her canonization as a saint in the Catholic and Orthodox churches. She is known as Lily heir to her spotless virtue. She is also traditionally portrayed wearing a crown and royal robes, holding a sword, but modern depictions show her holding a sword awkwardly to symbol